Okay, hopefully you heard all that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. And I just realized I didn't turn the mic back on. I was trying to figure out how to fix that problem at the end of the show, and now I didn't have anything at the beginning of the show. So I've been listening to music this whole time, and you haven't heard a damn thing. But happy Friday on the Morning Night Live. I'm not even on the screen yet. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where sometimes you have to suffer in silence as you wait for the show. I am sorry. Johnny, you're not doing your damn job. Damn it. Anyway, how y'all doing? It is Friday. I can't see because I only have one contact in because I have a sty. The 20 whatever it is of September. 27th. God, I'm going to have a hard time reading today, too. I need to do this. Did that help? No, because this contact is kind of fuzzy. Anyway, I'm glad you all are here, and I'm glad you stuck around for that intro. That was nothing. So, and I'm sure it scared the hell out of you when you got the double tap, 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 tap. Everybody dance now. Okay, it's not really that, but you know what I mean. Anyway, hi, happy Friday, and we're going to do a show. Let's just go ahead and say hi and start the damn thing. Where's my dude? What the hell's happening here? By the way, it is Friday Q&A day. We're going to do our Q&A, so I'll pop that up in just a moment. First in the chat today is Mr. Somnambule Nation. Nicely done. You get the bell. I don't know why I'm doing it twice, but because the bell's really quiet today for some reason. I don't know. Also, good morning, Kara Soldier, Lord Stanhope, JB, Shrapnel, here early, Bookworm, Addict, Boneheaded Dumbass. I just love that name. Let's see, who else is here? Lord Stanhope, I see. I accidentally scrolled too soon. Also, good morning, Special K on Acid. Hello. Now I gotta look. Attack Alpaca's in the house. And that's about everybody. Wow. Oh, Unacceptable Views is here. Good morning, my other favorite Canadian. And there you go. So, and JB, that's not a slight on you. It just happened to be the second Canadian that I decided to make a favorite Canadian, and you're all my favorite Canadians because I love me some Canadians, especially ones who are trending towards anything but Justin Trudeau. So anyway, hi. We're going to talk about her sometime during the show. And apparently she doesn't think that her term deplorables was strong enough back in the day, although she apologized for it at some point. But now she's doubling down on that shit. And just because it's funny to have Hillary Clinton in the picture, because that is someone who will never be president of the United States. You should thank your lucky stars, because she would start several wars, I'm sure. Anyway, all right, I'm going to put up the Friday Q&A thing up there, and there you go. So enjoy adding questions. I'm not sure if this is going to take very long if there's no Avocados Diablo, though. That's tough. So I need the rest of you to ask some questions. And look, it can be just about anything. Well, anything. You can ask of anything. I can't guarantee I'll answer anything, but could someone put three words in that chat so that there's space. Somnambule Nation, thank you. Put some spacer in there, and we'll be good. So let's get the show started. Things happening in the world. What is this? Oh, I see. Oh, first of all, thank you, by the way, the people who share the stream bright and early, aka Somnambule Nation, Mr. X51. Appreciate you all doing that. In fact, let me look, everyone needs to share the stream every day. It would be very helpful to me, and I'll keep doing the show if you guys can do that for me, because I wish there was like 100 people here a day, and again it's my own doing. The YouTube gods are not friendly to me. Plus, I guess I should have more guests and bring more people, but I just enjoy just doing this. You'd think after 5 years that I have more than a couple thousand subs. It's kind of weird, because there are some real dumbasses on YouTube that are, just morons that just get subs for whatever reason, and I don't get it. Maybe because my intros and the countdowns are too long, and people are too lazy to scroll over to see what this is about. There's got to be someone else here. But you know what? I have the greatest audience in the world. I'm happy with you guys. And so, you know, that's why I keep doing the show, because it's fun and I like doing this. So I'll keep doing it, but it can be frustrating just to never see this channel grow. It's just weird. It doesn't make sense. And part of it is, I know I pissed off somebody at YouTube early on. Hey, here's the thing though. Finally, I have noticed. So when you open a stream on YouTube, it gives you a status in your little, you get this little studio thing where you can kind of audit your channel, right? And every single day for probably the last 2 years on the monetization part, you know, you have 3 different statuses of monetization. You can have monetized, or they will change your status to not a bit like, it's kind of this yellow warning label where they give you this yellow $signs saying, well, we have to, you know, it may not be suitable for all viewers. And then they have the red one, which means you cannot monetize this show. Well, they've been making mine yellow for over 2 years. And I have to go in and appeal every single day to get it to be just a green light and because when it's yellow, they don't promote your channel because it's not suitable for all viewers. So they don't promote your channel until it turns green. And so every day for the last 2 years, I've had to go in and appeal that yellow marking. And 999 times out of 1,000, they change to green, but usually 2 days later. So by the time you do it 2 days later, they don't promote it anymore because they don't promote things that are over 48 hours. They've been kind of screwing me for years. Finally, just last week, I noticed that they stopped doing that. They finally started allowing just to be green lighted monetization without any restrictions. And so I'm going to see if that makes any difference. It hasn't so far. In fact, I've lost subscribers since that happened, which that makes sense. Of course, sometimes you lose subscribers just because people leave YouTube and or change a handle or delete an account or whatever. So that's not a big deal. I'm only losing 1. It's not like I'm losing 20 every day. But it's just weird that after 5 years of doing this, just this show, I've been on YouTube since 2016, that channel hasn't grown, period. It's been stuck at this 2000 something for over a year. It's just weird. So anyway, are YouTube screwing you with or without a reach around? Oh my God. I should not look at the Q&A before this happens. So anyway, I am I Shadow Man? It could be. But what's weird is there's no way to get rid of it. I don't even know how to. I want to talk to someone at YouTube going, hey, this doesn't even make sense. You could accidentally get 10,000 subscribers after 5 years doing this. But they just, you know, I enjoy doing what I do, and I'm going to keep doing it. So let's get into the news. Some of the trending topics today. First, Maggie Smith has passed away. Now, if you don't know who Maggie Smith is a British actress who you will recognize, but you probably didn't know her name. And this is Maggie Smith. And in fact, if you didn't know who that was, she was in Harry Potter series. She was in Downton Abbey. She was in Sister Act, the movie Sister Act. Very kind of one of those infamous character actresses who you see her face and you go, oh yeah, I recognize her. I just don't know her fucking name. So anyway, rest in peace to Maggie Smith. Again, a couple of her notable characters. Professor McGonagall, is that how you say it? In the Harry Potter series. She's 89 years old. Maggie Smith has passed away at the age of 89. She's most known for having played Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter movies. So that's younger kids, would know her. She's been in a lot of films, though, and also, like I said, she was also in Sister Act. So Sister Act is trending. She was the head nun, one that was Whoopi Goldberg's kind of foil in that movie. Had a the nun with the total stick up her ass. Anyway, rest in peace, Maggie McGonagall. Great character actress. Also in the news, trending, Saint Vincent de Paul. Today is the feast of Saint Vincent de Paul. I don't know why I feature Catholic saints feast days, because I'm not Catholic, but it's just fascinating to me. So I'm always curious what each of these saints are saints of. And I think isn't Saint Vincent de Paul, isn't he kind of the saint of charity or something like that? I don't know. I always think of that because the Saint Vincent de Paul centers everywhere I go are having to do with some kind of charity or people giving clothes or whatever. But one of the quotes, the most powerful weapon to conquer the devil is humility, for as he does not know at all how to employ it, neither does he know how to defend himself from it. We should strive to keep our hearts open to the suffering and wretchedness of other people and pray continually that God may grant us that spirit of compassion, which is truly the spirit of God. So I guess he's the saint of compassion and known for helping the poor. So that's Saint Vincent de Paul. I'm not, I don't know anything I don't know a lot about this stuff, so I'm not an expert whatsoever. Marty, you wish to join the Mother Church? Well, no, I'm, I grew up Episcopalian, which is basically Catholicism with when you can throw in some divorce there before the Catholics kind of stop completely frowning on divorce. Although they kind of still do. I mean, the church does. It's just Catholics, Catholics just don't give a fuck anymore. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, and it's funny because in high school, every once in a while, we had a group of friends and we decided, well, we're going to go to each other's religious service. And so, Episcopalian went to a Catholic mass, and one of my friends was Lutheran, one of my friends was Methodist. Then a friend went to a Black Baptist church, which is one I'd been to before because it was right down the street from my church. And that was kind of interesting because how the service or the mass of all these churches were pretty much the same. And so at the time I was like, well, what's the difference? As long as you're, doing your thing, you're doing the worship God and Jesus thing. Although we did go to a Jewish service once too. We went to a Hebrew temple, a Jewish temple, and went to Friday night to a Jewish service, and that was different, obviously, because they didn't say anything about Jesus. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's Jesus here? I don't see a statue hanging on the wall of Jesus on the cross. And oh yeah, this is Jewish. I forgot. Anyway, that's that. Moving on. Also trending. Obviously, Hurricane Helene is trending, and oh boy, it's done some damage. And well, here, let's do the New York Post article on this. Hurricane Helene makes landfall in Florida as a catastrophic Category 4. Look at this shit, man. These cars going down the road, and that water's going. Boats up on the beach. Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida late Thursday as a dangerous Category 4 storm that will slam the Sunshine State with torrential rain, potentially unsurvivable storm surge, and life-threatening winds. The catastrophic storm, one of the largest ever recorded in the Gulf of Mexico, strengthened to an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane Thursday with maximum sustained winds of 140 miles an hour, impacting Florida's Big Bend, according to the National Hurricane Center. So that's what they call that giant gulf in here with the red here. See this red? That's the Big Bend. I did not know that. I always thought Big Ben was a giant clock in London. But anyway, I know, it's Big Ben. Just a joke. Here, let me do this. There you go. Over 2.1 million customers were left without power Friday morning as Helene continued its rampage across the southeast. Florida's 1.25 million were left in the dark, while Georgia, South Carolina outages reached 644,000 and 200,000 by 4:30 a.m., according to Power Outage US. .us. Storm made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane in Florida's Big Bend region around 11:10 p.m., just east of the mouth of the Alsilla River, about 10 miles southwest of Perry, Florida. It weakened to a tropical storm as it raced into Georgia, but was still packing a punch with 70-mile-an-hour winds, forecasters said. Before Helene made landfall, a driver was killed at Weber City outside Tampa Bay when a sign fell on top of their vehicle, according to Governor Ron DeSantis and reports. And in Georgia, 2 people died in a possible tornado from Helene's outer bands as the storm bore down on the coast. Experts also warned that a large stretch of the Florida Panhandle could see unsurvivable storm surge up to 20 feet. So not out of the woods yet. And that brought torrential rainfall, about 6 to 12 inches. So anyway, it's wreaking havoc up and down the coast, and a couple cities there's a few cities that have mentioned, are mentioned in the trending topics today. One is Augusta, Georgia. Here's some scenes from, scenes from Augusta, Georgia. This is some trees falling down and stuff, nasty stuff. Also, we look in here, homes wrecked. I mean, it's nasty. It is nasty. And more signs here of a building taken down. Looks like the entire gas station sign or mall sign came down. Okay, that's enough of that. Damn, that's noisy. That's noisy as hell. Pray for Augusta and surrounding area. We took a hard beating last night. Many friends have trees inside or on top of them, including mine. Wait, what? Many friends have trees inside or on top of... Well, that sentence doesn't make sense. But anyway... and of course, you have the requisite
but of course,
weather
that's
person
a big concern for farmers. But
out
I
in
will
the
tell you, right now,
hurricane.
surprisingly, we still have power in this area. We know across the state of Georgia right now, we just checked, and power outages are at about 100,000 customers without power right now. So this hotel right now,
so she's happy that she's out there and she has power.
But I don't know how it's going to be for long. Ari.
Caroline Elliott, thank you so much for the great report. I would say try to get dry, but that's going to be a tall order right now.
And she gets hit by a tree. Okay, there you go. So can't have a hurricane without some dumbass standing out there telling you it's raining when everyone can tell it's raining. But there you go. There you go. Asheville, North Carolina. It's flooding in Asheville. Here's a example of that. Someone tried to drive in their car, and the streets are pretty. Oh, this is storm surge. It's almost like a tsunami just rolling through the town. So people in North Carolina having troubles. The only Asheville resident unbothered by the hurricane and flooding is what is this? Oh. Some bird that just doesn't give a fuck. That bird don't care. He don't give a fuck. You ain't fucked up my home because my home is outside. So there you go. That bird just don't care. All right, turn that sound off there. And here the bridge. This is the bridge about an hour ago. This is something. So it's rushing over a bridge here. Does that look like a pedestrian bridge? No, that looks like a vehicle bridge, but turn that sound off. So loud. So, let's see. Hang on a second. All right, here we go. CeeLo, North Carolina, South Toe River, not much longer, and the bridge will be underwater. Trees are getting stuck on the bridge, and then this is the bridge later as the water's starting to flow over it. So that river obviously cresting. So that's wild. Let's see. Anything else interesting in Asheville? Well, wow. There's a scene for you. I don't need the music. Turn the music off. So yeah, definitely major flooding, Asheville, Carolina, South North Carolina. Also in the Buckhead region of Atlanta, there's flooding there. There's some cars deep doo-doo. I'm sure there's some doo-doo floating there somewhere. So sections of the Buckhead region, in fact, the moments after water rescue in Buckhead, firefighters used a boat to rescue a man, woman, and baby and 2 dogs from the top of a car. All are fine. That's this scene here. As you can see down in front of this fire truck, there's what's flooding down there. So lots of destruction, lots of vehicles underwater around Buckhead, especially because it's a lower lying area. So apparently all the water accumulates there. Bobby Jones Golf Course is now Bobby Jones Lake. Probably won't be playing around there today. So there you go. Lots of destruction from Hurricane Helene. Also in the news, Core, the producer, what is it? I don't know what the PCE always stands for. Core PCE, which is a measure of inflation, breaking the August PCE inflation. The Fed's preferred inflation measure falls to 2.2%, below expectations of 2.3%. However, core PCE inflation rises to 2.7%, in line with expectations of 2.7%. The headline from this is going to be inflation is down, which is the only part that the Biden administration is going to tell you. But the core inflation is up. So core PCE month-to-month came in softer than expectations at plus 1% or plus 0.1%. So here it is. Here's the thing. They're going to tell you that inflation is down. But from last month, prices have risen 0.1%. Now that's just month to month. So I guess that's good for stocks and bonds. But they're saying it makes another 50 basis point cut likely. Why? Because it's an election year? The soft inflation data also sets up 2% year-to-year headline PCE reading for September. Will come out October 31st before next Fed meeting. If so, the Fed could, again, it's the Fed target rate is 2%. Personal consumption expenditures. Thank you. I always forget what that is. I've said it so long, but I never actually used the acronym. So, just in August, okay, the lowest since February 2021. Core PCE inflation has increased 2.7% year to year, in line with the Fed forecast. So year to year, it's still 2.7% above last year, which is about 17% higher than it was when Biden went into office. Nothing's gone down. So when they say inflation is down, well, no, the rate of rising costs is down compared to last year, which compared to the year before that, compared to the year before that. So they're gonna tell you some bullshit. There's the links if you want to look at that. Moving on. Also, Trump Force One is in the news. Now, I don't know about this report. Let's move to Trump Force One here. Now, this is I don't know where this report's coming from. I can't seem to figure out where this report's coming from. But a lot of people are talking about it. Hodge twins here. So reports coming out that surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled into the United States to target Trump Force One, Trump's plane. Feds don't just let this kind of stuff happen. Are they really going to try to shoot him down? This is wild. Now, again, I don't know where the report came from. I'm seeing a lot of people talking. Buzz Patterson, the astronaut, right? Former carrier of the nuke football, and so on. Thanks to Biden-Harris border treason, reports are saying that Iranians have smuggled in shoulder-held surface-to-air missiles intending to shoot down Trump Force One. This is war, and the Biden administration is eerily quiet. Do they want that? Now, I still don't, as I've scrolled through this topic, I don't know where the report comes in, but everyone's saying reports coming out. Here's, what is this? And Donald Trump mentioned it. Big threats to my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves were already made by Iran that didn't work out, but they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I'm surrounded by more men and guns. We've talked about that. We showed you that one yesterday, right? Here's one of them. I don't know. This is a muse. This is just an internet person who talks about this. Is Trump Force One grounded? The Trump campaign seems to be traveling on multiple smaller charter jets. There are reports that the Secret Service has credible intelligence that Trump Force One could be targeted by a shoulder-fired missile and has recommended that Trump and his campaign use multiple charter jets when possible. Okay? Still don't know where the report comes from. Again, breaking, all hands on deck Americans. Intelligence just in from the southern border that 9 surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled into the U.S. across the New Mexico border, intended to target Trump Force One. Don't know where it's coming from. But maybe that's why Donald Trump was talking about it. And lots of people talking about it, but no one has a source. So it's just one of those things that a lot of people are talking about, but where's the source? So I don't know. I have no idea. Guess we'll find out sometime. Moving on. Now, this was a news item that isn't in the trending topics, but I saw it. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So the New York Appeals Court is now hearing the Letitia James, Letitia. Good morning, GDS. Oh, by the way, hi, GDSOB. Good morning, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
And anyone else showed up since I've been ranting along here? I don't know. Welcome. By the way, it's Friday Q&A. Drop your questions in the Q&A. New York Appeals Court judge calls Trump's $454 million civil fraud judgment troubling. It seems as though the Letitia James's little judgment she got may be in trouble. A panel of New York Appeals Court judges appeared skeptical about the gargantuan $454 million fraud judgment Donald Trump was dealt after he was found liable for business fraud, with one jurist calling it troubling. The former president is attempting to reverse or reduce the judgment of $354 million plus an additional $100 million in interest after a judge sided with the New York Attorney General Letitia James, who argued in a lawsuit that Trump inflated his net worth by billions to get better loans and insurance terms. Trump's lawyers, who have called Judge Arthur Engoron, February's ruling draconian, unlawful, and unconstitutional. Remember, this was just decided by a single judge, not by a jury, not by anybody. Hello, Anna Lynn, by the way. So his lawyers appeared before a 5-judge panel of Manhattan Appeals Court Thursday to plead their case. I'm telling you, this judgment was ridiculous. Some judges appeared receptive to changing the bond. Judge Peter Bolton questioned whether James' lawsuit turned into something it was not meant to do. Bolton observed that the immense penalty in this case is troubling. Trump attorney D. John Sauer argued that James' lawsuit stretched New York consumer protection laws. There were no victims, no complaints about Trump's businesses from lenders or insurers, Sauer claimed. The lawyer claimed the case was a clear-cut violation of the statute of limitations, noting transactions used in the non-jury trial. If the verdict is not overturning Warren, people can't do business in real estate confidently. Trump, who has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing since James first brought the suit against him, was not present. Engoron ruled that Trump, his company, and top executives, including his sons Eric and Don Jr., deceived banks by inflating Trump's wealth on financial statements, allowing them to obtain favorable loans, which they used to reap profits. Oh no, profits! Trump's legal team said that the initial requested bond was unprecedented for a private company and that posting the full amount was a practical impossibility. In a brief submitted in July by the Appellate Division, the mid-level state appeals court, Trump's lawyers argued that the financial statements he submitted to banks actually understated his wealth, and there was no indication that any of the lenders were financially harmed. In fact, they testified to that. Hello, Mrs. Hayes and Willie. What's up? Willie won't go home. The appellate division typically rules about a month after arguments wrap up, meaning a final decision could come before Election Day on November 5th. 3 of the 5 judges who heard Thursday's arguments must agree in order to alter the outcome. If the court rules against Trump, the former president can appeal to the New York's highest court and potentially the United States Supreme Court. Though that would mean a final decision would come no sooner than 2026. So anyway, the former commander-in-chief vowed to fight the case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court if necessary. So there you go. That's some interesting news if anyone's following that. And that was the most BS case I've ever seen. Clearly targeting one person, and they changed laws and statutes and all that other shit just to get that on the docket. And one judge decided that he's going to fine Donald Trump $454 million for a case that nobody complained. In fact, the bank said they were very happy with their transactions. So it's like, who's he ripping off? Who is he ripping off? Even if let's say he did inflate the numbers, but the banks used their own numbers, which they did, and based their decisions on their own numbers, because it's the bank's due diligence that's necessary to do loans like that. It's not the person who's borrowing the money. Oh yeah, I'll just state my income and you don't have to check it. No, it's the bank's due diligence, okay? And in order to defraud the banks, you would have had to done something that they couldn't check on. They would have to rely just on your word and not their own due diligence. It's just the dumbest fucking case I've ever seen in my life. Anyway. Moving on. Someone named Wanda Vasquez is trending. I wish her actually on Puerto Rico was here, because most of these are in Spanish. But let's give you an overview based on the translations that we get on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. So apparently this is I don't know what her position is in Puerto Rico, but she kind of got moved up. Here it is. We woke up to the news that the FBI wired Wanda Vasquez and recorded her conversations with Rivera Schatz and the PNP gubernatorial candidate Jennifer Gonzalez as a part of an investigation. Now this is in Puerto Rico. And I keep going through this. Let's see. Wanda Vasquez reported to the FBI in 2019 that Rivera Schatz was bribing her so that he could become governor without voting and without being chosen by the order of succession. If it were true, do you know who does these things? Not the defenders of democracy. Oh, so anyway, if you read Spanish, it's an interesting story. As I've gone through this, and it takes too long to go through this and do all the translations, but it's an interesting story of sordid politics in Puerto Rico. Here's another one. This is a little more in depth. Wow, Wanda Vasquez recorded for the Federals political transition negotiations between her, TRS, and JGO in the summer of 2019. In order to get power, she acted as a snitch and political spy in the negotiations between the legislative and executive branches while the FBI listened, ironically. The Federals found no crime on the part of those recorded, and eventually they changed WV as a criminal going for money. I don't know. Who knows if that translation is accurate? But deep L translator is a thing. Yeah, I know, but I'm too lazy to do that shit. So anyway, she's trending. Moving on. By the way, we've been talking about saints and Catholics and religion and stuff. Well, Kamala Harris, the genius, apparently has found a new book in the Bible. and that it must be a long lost book in the Bible. Kamala Harris makes up a book of the Bible in excruciating off-script moment. Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris cited a book of the Bible that does not exist in a rare off-script moment on Wednesday. Quote, well, do they have the video? Here it is. Here it is.
You know, there's a time for patience, and there's a time for impatience. That's not in Ecclesiastics, but just want to.
Okay. Now, I think she just off the cuff mispronounced a book of the Bible. By the way, good morning, Nomad.
Hammer time.
And also Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live, and Mr. Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
So anyway, she cited a book that does not exist in a rare off-script Wednesday. You know, there's a time for patience, blah, blah. That's not in Ecclesiastics, she said in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, adding, I just went off script for a minute. Oh, really? Yeah, she did. So Harris may have been referring to the Old Testament book Ecclesiastes, which teaches to everything there is a reason, including a time to weep and a time to laugh and a time to mourn and a time to dance. Was that the inspiration to the song "To Everything Turn and Turn and Turn"? Anyway, the vice president of mixed. Okay, this article. Okay, this is in a right-wing, so to speak, publication, or a right-of-center publication, the National Pulse. And it's funny how they describe Harris, because I'm pretty sure they don't describe her like this in the New York Times. The vice president of mixed Indian and Jamaican heritage claims that as a child, she attended both a Hindu temple where she learned that all faiths teach us to pursue justice, and a Black Baptist church where she sang in the choir. Now, I'm really confused. Why would she have gone to a Black Baptist church? Now, I understand that the parent, the mother from India, but again, oh, by the way, Candace Owens, I'm not a fan of Candace Owens at all. Most of you probably know that. But I actually watched a video of hers yesterday because she's like digging into the genealogy of Kamala Harris. It's fascinating. I should probably put a link to it. It's actually, it's just very interesting. Candace doing research and actually doing interesting things. She will, hey man, is that Freedom Rock? Only old folks will get the reference. Well, most of the people in my chat are old folks or older than whatever. If you don't know that song, I'm sorry. You don't have to be you don't have to know Freedom Rock to know that song. I'm sorry. Somebody knows that. Okay, here we go. Here's a question. Thank you, Mrs. Hayes. For this question, I'm going to add to the chat. If you know here's what you need to do. If you know the song that I'm talking about, put a 1 in the chat. That's all I ask. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what song I'm talking about. I think, was that by The Association? Anyone, who is that song by? Mrs. Hayes, obviously you must be old enough to know what it was. So there. Anyway, as much as I can't stand Candace Owens, she's doing God's work on this particular item. Hello, Andrew Thorsten. Oh no, I didn't do the damn thing. Let me fix that. What the hell, Marty? See, Johnny, why aren't you fixing this? God dang it. I hate that noise. I love the noise because it means someone did a super chat. By the way, Johnny Hellcat, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. But I got to fix the alert so you get a proper alert for that 357, definitely a larger caliber than the 223. Johnny Hellcat says, don't forget she lit up the old Kwanzaa tree or candles or whatever black Scientology that is. Yes, exactly. And here, hits a proper alert for that one. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Great America. And by the way, if you want to sponsor the show, you can do that at... Oh, don't. If there's not a 3 in the link, that ain't going to work. Where's the one with the 3? Here we go. If you want to sponsor the show, which is greatly appreciated and necessary for my continued survival, I'll pin that up at the top of the chat too. Or you can do YouTube Super Chats, but then you're giving YouTube 30% of what you donate to me. And fuck YouTube. They're not friendly to me. All right. Where was I at? We were talking about... Anyway, so Kamala Harris kind of bungled that, but I don't think that's a huge bungle. Look, if someone told me to mention a book of the Bible starting with E, I might say Ecclesiastes 2, even though it's Ecclesiastes. I mean, she wasn't that far off. I could see where you could make that mistake. So, people giving her shit for that. Moving on. Also trending, MIA squad. Now, this is interesting because apparently the red light district in AOC's district apparently is being overrun with well, here it is. AOC's red light district overrun with prostitutes as locals call out MIA squad member. Now, the issue I have with the headline, Fox News, how exactly can a red light district be overrun with prostitutes? Isn't that the definition of a red light district? It's a red light district is a district full of prostitutes. So it being overrun by prostitutes seems a little bit redundant, but I figured I'd go through this article anyway because, oh, and it doesn't even have it's not even an article. Oh, this is one of those. Here, let me see if I can do that because I don't want to play here, hang on. Let's see if this works. Because, oh my God, it hasn't even been, no one's archived this article yet? Are you serious? What the hell? Well, anyway, so AOC's red light district overrun with prostitutes as local call out the MIA squad member, aka missing in action. All done on purpose. Don't be fooled one bit. Her district is one of many similar, the Democrat-led areas throughout the country. She needs to go. Well, are people pissed off that there's prostitutes there? I want to read the article, but I can't yet. It'll be popping up in just a moment. Let's see if it works. Otherwise, we'll just play the report. Hello, scribe, Dawg Knight. Nice to see you, brother. Good to see you, my brother. Scribe, we got to do a show together again one of these days. Just for, I don't know, whatever. I'll come on in your playground if you let me. I would love to hang out with you. In fact, Lady Boomer's gone this weekend. Maybe, I don't know when I know you do the Sunday stuff. I listen to a lot of the Sunday stuff, but I don't know your schedule. Because most of your stuff is, I watch on replay instead of live. Oh, come on. How long does it take to archive a freaking article? What a pain in the ass. Give me a second. Well, here, I'll come back to that. Also trending, Will Ferrell's trending. Now, apparently Will Ferrell, the former Saturday Night Live and goofy comedian, funny guy. Look, Will Ferrell, I don't think he's necessarily funny, but he actually has made some funny movies, I guess. But he's the kind of humor that you go, I know the Sunday stream is at 11 a.m. Eastern time, which is 10 a.m. my time. And I usually watch the replay because I'm usually not up that early on Sunday. Or I'm doing something else. I'm definitely not in church because I know what I do what Ecclesiastes is. Other than an Old Testament, book of the Bible that I could have gotten wrong myself. Anyway, Will Ferrell's trending because apparently he's on a tour with this transgender person, Will Ferrell. I don't know why trans people. He says, I don't know why trans people are meant to be threatening to me. Well, Will Ferrell, you're like 6'2", a pretty big guy, and I don't think, unless you're, out there soliciting tranny hookers in AOC's district, they're not threatening to you. But they are threatening to some people, and especially women. And so, and here's the example that someone gave here. Canada, a man who raped infant quietly moved to a prison with mother-baby unit after transgender claim. Now, there's people who don't want, there are women who do not want transgender people in their prisons. And one of the stories that's coming, so here it is. This is funny. This guy says, MAGA gonna threaten to boycott Will Ferrell for his non-transphobia comments. Which, look, this is not a issue that has anything to do with MAGA, okay? There are lots of women who are as left-wing as can be, who are also having issues with have this issue. And some of the points that people make, Will Ferrell's not an incarcerated woman who has to bunk with a rapist. He's not a 14-year-old girl who has to share her school bathroom with boys. He's not a female athlete. He's rich, out-of-touch man. Yeah, I'm sure he has his own security and walls around his house, his compound, because he's got plenty of money. So here it is. Will Ferrell says transphobia stems from not being confident or safe with yourself. I don't know why trans people are meant to be threatening to me as a cis male, the actor said in an interview this week. It has nothing to do with whether or not they're threatening. It's whether or not I have to bend to their lack of reality. And so one of the stories that is being featured because of this is this one. And what they're doing in California to women, because they're putting any man who says, I'm a woman, not only will they move them to the women's prison, they'll even pay for their surgeries and hormones and shit. Which I think, for example, this is the example of one where the guy literally murdered a baby and got sent to prison and then decided, he's a woman. And so they helped him transition and moved him to a women's prison. Now, I don't think the state should be doing elective surgeries if you're a prisoner. I don't think the state should be paying for your elective surgery. And it's insane to me that not only are they paying for the elective surgery, but then moving them into a women's prison, but some of them aren't even having surgery. They're just going to the women's prisons being attacked. If you know what I mean. And there are multiple, again, anecdotal stories of some of these women raping other women in prisons. But this story out of California is really pissing me off. Just reading this. Kathleen Quinn is a political prisoner held by the state of California for daring to say she doesn't feel safe being housed with intact men. She was 3 weeks away from her release, and the state revoked her parole. Why? Because she made a public statement about being unsafe. It's important that folks understand Kathleen was punished so harshly because she and Tomieka Johnson were the first incarcerated women to speak against, Senate Bill 132. The state needed to make an example of these two women. They needed to show all the other women housed in prison that they better shut up or they would too lose their job, their honor, dorm housing, their parole, or their everything. They wanted to show women that you are not allowed to object to this. The tactic has been highly effective, but it is crumbling. And this is a woman that says, I've waited so long to share Kathleen's story, and I'm proud that her bravery now has allowed her story to be shared in front of U.S. senators. So here's this woman testifying before the United States Senate regarding this case. And it's only 40 seconds, so it won't take long.
Kathleen Quinn lost her parole after objecting to SB 132 and reporting that a male repeatedly peeped on her while she used the bathroom naked from the waist down. Kathleen had served nearly 20 years and was only 3 weeks away from her parole date. By that point, her family had already made arrangements for her to come home. But because she reported this man's repeated behaviors and told the prison she did not feel safe living with men, Kathleen now must wait another 5 years in prison. For some female inmates, speaking out means sacrificing an earlier release date and spending more time behind bars.
So, because she reported that some jackass pretending to be a woman was peeping on her, she didn't feel safe, they didn't allow her parole. And she must stay in prison 5 more years. Around the same people she doesn't feel safe around. And if you want a link to the full hearing, it's also in this link. In fact, I'll put this as a separate link to that full hearing. But I need to get through some things today because we got Q&A day. So there we go. Link to the full hearing is right there. In fact, why don't I just put it in the... There. We'll just post it. Don't even have to do that. Moving on. Now, just a few things. I want to talk about Hillary Clinton, and I need to find out what happened to that. There it is. Because this is the lead topic today. So, Hillary Clinton's back. Actually, I should have said Hillary Clinton's back.
I see dead people.
Apparently, she has doubled down on calling Trump supporters deplorables. Says it's too kind of a word. Failed 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton doubled down this week on calling calling half of former President Donald Trump's supporters a basket of deplorables. Clinton reflected on the infamous and divisive comment she made during a fundraiser in 2016 in a Washington Post op-ed published on Wednesday, adapted from her new book, Something Lost, Something Gained, Reflection on Life, Love, and Liberty, which she doesn't believe in any of those things anymore. In the article, the former Secretary of State recalled a meeting she had with a former white supremacist who now works to deprogram people leaving hate groups as an entry to discuss her deplorables comment, and said the term is too kind a word for some of Trump's most fervent followers. She quoted, quote, "In 2016, I famously described half of Trump supporters as a basket of deplorables. I was talking about the people who are drawn to his racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia, Islamophobia, you name it." Yeah, that's what it is. All the obias and isms. The people for whom his bigotry is a feature, not a bug. Yeah, I do that voice because it's just as annoying as hers. It was an unfortunate choice of words and bad politics, but it also got to an important truth. Just look at everything that has happened in the years since, from Charlottesville to January 6th. So those two things that they all bring up. Those two things. It's funny because they make it like, oh, there's all these times that they were deplorable doing some shit. But they only have two examples. Charlottesville and January 6th. It's hilarious because that's all they got. And look, Charlottesville, the dickheads with the tiki torches the night before the rally about the statue, which it's funny because they keep seeming to meld them together. They keep trying to say that the tiki torch assholes on Friday night were what happened on the day that the car incident happened, when they had the rally, and then the state police, ordered by Terry McAuliffe, to push them through the protesters, and then the protesters started attacking them, and that's when all the hell broke loose. The whole incident was the fault of the state police that day by forcing the people who had the rally about the statues to have to go through the protesters rather than away from the protesters. And so many of the counter protesters, who they think are the good guys, began to violently attack the people who were there for the statue rally. And somehow it became the guys from the tiki torches from the night before who were the ones who caused the violence. When Charlottesville was not caused by those people, they were just done with their rally and they were leaving. But because the state police forced them to go a specific direction, which was right into the mouth of all the counter protesters, and I'm sure this was Terry McCullough's plan, then violence broke out. And they claimed that it was the people protesting them taking down the statues who caused the violence, which they didn't. Now, one dickhead from all of that mayhem ended up driving his car into the protesters, mistakenly or whatever. Who knows why he was going that way. And as they attacked his car, someone got killed. And then he ran away. And so the death of that unfortunate young woman who was in the path is the focal point of what happened in Charlottesville. Oh, the death of a counter-protester. Well, guess what? Had the state police, instead of forcing those two groups together, would have kept them apart, like that would have been their job normally in a normal world, there would have been no violence in Charlottesville, at least not to the extent that it was. But we have this complete gaslighting from Joe Biden, from Kamala Harris, who keep talking about they were coming out of the bushes with torches and blah, 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 yelling anti-Semitic bile, and they were carrying swastikas. I don't remember seeing a fucking swastika. Maybe there was, but I don't remember that. I remember reporting on it back then. Yeah, the dickheads were saying the Jews will not be placed and all that bullshit. And fuck those guys with the tiki torches. They were a small sliver of what the rally was about. But that wasn't part of the day of the violence of Charlottesville. That was a completely separate event the night before. And so they're trying to meld those things together because they're trying to get maximum effect for it. And I'm going to say it one more time. Fuck the guys with the tiki torches. They were dumb assholes. Which there was about 70 of them. Maybe there was 100 of them, max. But they weren't the part of they ended up going to this part of the protest the next day. But that tiki torch parade by those dickheads was not part of wasn't the main thing in Charlottesville that weekend. But for somehow, the myth now is that, oh, they were the ones who started the violence. Well, they weren't. That's a myth, a lie. That if you go back and watch any of the footage of that day, you would know. It was the people who were counter-protesting who began attacking those people. So, anyway, that's a whole other thing. But again, what are their two go-to things? Charlottesville, January 6th. As if there were no violent protests in the entire country by any other faction that entire period of time. Which, the siege on Portland's federal court lasted, 4 months? Oh, they forgot about that. Oh, Chop Chaz in Seattle. How long did they take over that part of town? How long were the riots in Minneapolis after George Floyd? Every time anyone got shot by the police, how many riots happened in cities around the country? Oh, we forgot about all that. But the riot, you can say, oh, Charlottesville and January 6th. Well, what else? I don't know. Oh, the Proud Boys got in a fight with the Antifa fuckwads. Obviously, it's the Proud Boys' fault for being attacked by Antifa. They don't even know who the fucking Proud Boys are either. Someone described the Proud Boys as a militia one time. I laughed my ass off. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But Biden made that great myth about the Proud Boys when he had that debate with Donald Trump. He didn't even know who the fuck he was talking about. Anyway, Hillary's doubling down on this bullshit. Fuck Hillary Clinton. Not literally, because ew. Again, I have tons of articles open, but it's Friday Q&A, so you can look through them yourself. They'll be in the links. I'll drop those in the links, but it's Q&A time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Friday Q&A. All right, guys. Good morning, Green Badger Outdoors, and anyone else who showed up that I haven't said hi to so far. It's Friday Q&A time. Looks like there's enough buffer to have the first question visible on my screen. By the way, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of this Morning Night Live. Please hit the like button if you haven't so far, because I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing there's 20. It says 24 people, 15 likes. Come on, who doesn't like this? Come on. By the way, I will drop all these links, including the dozens that I have not yet even touched on them, even the headlines, because there's whatever. Only if he uses the voice. Wait, what? I tried holding it back. Oh, you threw up? Anyway, happy Friday Q&A time. Let's start with the first question. It comes from Kara Soldier, who says, Sonic the Hedgehog or Super Mario? Oh, Super Mario all day. I'm OG. Super Mario's OG, man. Come on now. That's a dumb question. Okay, it's not a dumb question, but it's a dumb question. JB asks, if you had the opportunity to box any person from history, who would you choose? Any person from history. Maybe Hillary Clinton. No. I do not condone violence against any woman, including that woman. If I wanted to box anyone in history, does it have to be a boxer? I don't know. Robert Reich. Beat the shit out of the little fucker. Anyway, moving on. Boneheaded Dumbass asked, do you think that the current administration will leave if they lose? Well, the current administration isn't on the ballot. Do I think Kamala Harris will leave if she loses? Here's what. So I'm concerned that if Donald Trump wins, which is certainly a possibility, I don't know. It seems a toss up to me. I think there's going to be more questionable hijinks going on with the 2024 election, as I believe there may have been in 2020, but that's just an opinion that I have, and that's allowed on YouTube suddenly. I think that the Democrats, if Trump wins, are going to try to circumvent his being certified on the January 6, 2025. Jamie Raskin's already said he's going to try to do that, and even threatened to have some sort of civil war of sorts. Prepare for. I mean, he's like saying prepare for it, and that would only happen. The only way that could happen, if Democrats win the House or the Senate. But I don't think it's good. I don't know that it would. I don't know if it'd be successful, but here's the problem. Who is the current vice president? Current vice president's the one running for president. I can't predict what she's going to do because she leads that. She's the main person on that day. She's going to be in Mike Pence's position. She's going to be in Joe Biden's position for a transfer of power. And so it's going to get really interesting if Trump wins, particularly if he wins the electoral vote, not the popular vote. I don't trust Kamala Harris at all. I think she will try to facilitate trying to disqualify him after he's elected. And then you're going to see how much Democrats really believe in democracy. I don't think they believe in democracy at all, except for my definition, or at least my interpretation of their definition of democracy. And their definition of democracy is our people in power. And that just doesn't mean Democrats. That means the current administrative, I wouldn't say deep state, but the administrative state, the current status quo. That's what they mean by our people in power, because it doesn't mean just Democrats, but for them, mostly Democrats, right? Democrat majorities, Democrat president, Democrat whatever, Democrat rules in the Supreme Court as opposed to just the rule of law. So do I think they'll leave? The answer, I guess, look, that was a Kamala Harris answer, or I haven't answered yet. I think eventually, yes. But they're going to fight to not allow Donald Trump to be president. And if they do that, let's say they're successful in Donald Trump not becoming the president. Well, their only choice would be J.D. Vance, wouldn't it? They can't say that Democrats can be the president if the Republican ticket wins. So if they say that Donald Trump can't be president, well, then their only choice would be J.D. Vance, wouldn't they? This is scary times. Bonehead, let's see. Simon Noble Nation, this is a question about YouTube from before. Is YouTube screwing you with or without a reach around? There's no reach around on this one, I can tell you. It's just straight in a hole you don't want it in. Bonehead Dumbass asks, do you think that the administration will kick out the illegals out of the hotels and turn off the EBT cards if they lose? No, they're going to let that play out. And a lot of that funding is coming from states anyway. Like in New York, it's the state of New York is doing that. It's not necessarily the administration. The local governments are doing a lot of that funding. So no, I don't think they will. Lord Stanhope, how much butt do you need to do butt stuff? Asking for Cammy. Look, you just need to have the right orifices, and that's all it does. That's all it takes. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Why are you asking me questions like that? Oh my God. Oh, turn that off. Stop it. Lord Stanhope, what is the worst thing to pickle? I think pickled scorpions would be kind of problematic, I guess. Somnambula Nation, if you could be proclaimed a saint, what would you want to be the saint of? I would love to be the saint of golf or saint of golf courses, because that would give me an excuse. Lord Stanhope, if you were drowning in an endless vat of beer, what beer would you prefer it to be? Probably Summit Winter Ale, which is a local brewery in St. Paul, Minnesota, and they have the lovely winter ale. And if I'm going to drown in it, I might as well enjoy my way down. JB, is the moon really hollow on the inside? I've never heard that it was, but I have heard it was made of cheese, which it is not. And although no one's actually confirmed it because no one's actually really been there. See what I did there? JB asks, should we entomb Joe Biden in a dreadnought? Warhammer 40K walking battle casket, basically. 40K is really dark. Sure, why not? I think we'll wait till he dies, though. Lord Stanhope, who is the most beautiful woman you could imagine to beat you senseless? Well, obviously that would be my lovely spouse. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. JB, you have control of self-replicating Frankenants. What is the first thing you would do with them? Okay, are you just doing this because AD's not here? Come on, the self-replicating Frankenants is the question. What would I do with the self-replicating Frankenants? I would invade Babylonia and take it down. guess. I don't know what if self-repeating Franken ants aren't real, wouldn't Babylonia be a good place for them? Selected Boy asks, ever heard of Sly and Robbie? Well, no. Let's see if I can find this. Let's look up Sly and Robbie. By the way, there are a lot of good articles that I have open. I just don't have time to get to them. So I do encourage you to check out the links today. Sly and Robbie. Okay, Sly and Robbie were a prolific Jamaican rhythm section and production duo associated primarily with the reggae and dub genres. Drummer Sly Dunbar and bassist Robbie Shakespeare teamed up in the mid-1970s after establishing themselves separately. Oh, yeah, I have heard of them. I've heard of them. Not super familiar with them, but I had heard of them. Now that I had to look it up and refresh my memory, yes, I have actually heard of them. Lord Stanhope asks, if Letitia James had someone else's head, would she be attractive? Well, like if she had like Cyrus Vance's head or Dan Quayle's head? No, I don't know. No, maybe. I mean, look, I don't understand the question. If she had, who's someone who is attractive? But put anyone, if somebody else's head, if she had someone's head, sure, why not? Depends on whose head it is. Yes, Somnamble Nation, it depends on the new head, exactly. Somnamble Nation asks, if you were offered a delicacy of chocolate-covered self-repeating Franken ants, would you try them? What is that? Isn't there already a chocolate covered ants? Like, isn't that already a thing? I might, as long as they're not repeating still. Wait a minute. No, because then they would repeat in your stomach and then you might explode. No, I would not try them. Lord Stanhope, an eldritch elder god has arisen, has destroyed your city. You are going to save the world by driving a beer truck in its heart. 1, what beer are you hauling? And 2, what song is playing as you do this? Okay. The beer truck that I would be driving would just be a simple Budweiser beer truck. Just because, I mean, it could be Bud Light, and that would explode their heart. But anyway, but it might be Budweiser, because, beer truck, need a big beer truck to carry Budweiser. It's the number 1 selling beer in the world, or it was. What song would it be playing? Probably, what's that song by Metallica? The Exit 9, Neverland. Off to Neverland. Probably that song. That'd be a good song to be playing. Lord Stand-Up. Oh, what's for dinner? Tonight, my mother-in-law gave me some wild rice bratwursts that are like they have wild rice in them, but they're normal bratwursts, but just I'm gonna eat those. That's what I'm having because Lady Boomer's gone, so I'm gonna grill a couple brats. Somnamble Nation, if you could be fluent in any 2 foreign languages, what 3 do you choose? Oh, any 3 foreign languages. Probably Spanish, Mandarin, or, well, which is the bigger Chinese language? I can't remember. Is it Mandarin or Cantonese? Probably Mandarin. Spanish, Mandarin, and maybe German, because then you can cover, I mean, Latin too, that'd be a good one, but I think Spanish, Mandarin, and German, which would cover a good portion of the world, because you already have English, right? Oh, wait, does that include me still mastering English, though? That's a good question. Anyway, okay, moving on. Somnambule Nation, you're saying hi to people, but it's in the wrong chat. Somnambule Nation asks, where is it? Oh, shit. I got lost here. Oh, please discard hellos. Oh, never mind. Lord Stanhope, in a moment alone at home, what foods should I eat to ensure my family is repulsed by the smell? Well, look, I don't know if eating would be the problem, but cooking, because you'd be eating them because you cook them, and if you ever have smelled a home where chitlins have been cooked, which means you'd be eating chitlins, that would be the one, because the smell would be the smell of just the cooking them is gross. Cleaning and cooking them, they're nasty. It fucks up your whole entire house for a week. So there you go. That's why I could not bring myself to eat chitlins. Lord Stanhope, how is it that Tay-Tay looks more like a little boy from your average Asian than your average Asian? Tay-Tay? Who the fuck is Tay-Tay? You mean little Tay-Tay? That, how is it that Tay-Tay looks more like a little boy than your average Asian? I don't know. I don't care about Tay-Tay. Tay-Tay's a dumbass. Selected boy, what is your favorite carnivore? My favorite carnivore? Like, I think tigers are cool. I think they're just beautiful animals, but I wouldn't want it to eat me. Lord Stand-Up, using sign language, can you describe Da Vinci's Last Supper to a blind person? Well, no, because they can't see what I'm signing. God damn it. Unless you do this thing like Helen Keller, making signs on here that they can feel. No, I can't. Somnambule Nation, have you considered just opening tabs in your browser until you get the blue screen of death? Just to see what your limit is? No, I pretty much come close to my limit probably every day. Just for this show. But it takes a while to do that. I don't want a blue screen of death. Lord Stanhope, what is the best pesticide to use on bugmen? I don't know. What the fuck's bugmen? What? Bugmen? Probably Raid. That's the only pesticide I really know. Oh, you mean like, unless you mean like, okay, because I'm not a farmer, so the only pesticide I know is Raid. So that's it. Lord Stanhope, can you, only using pantomime, recreate Teddy Roosevelt's building the Panama Canal? Okay, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Teddy Roosevelt didn't build the Panama Canal. So here, this is it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lord Stanhope, will you have a good weekend? Well, yes, and not. It won't be as good because Lady Boomer's in Nashville. But I'm gonna go visit my daughter tomorrow. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna open a couple of my birthday cards. Well, not my birthday cards. If you've seen the video, for my 60th birthday back in April, she gave me a box of 61, somewhere between 1 and 63 cards. She can't remember how many she counted, but it's supposed to be 60. And one of those cards is a birthday card, and the rest are dad jokes. And so we're going to open the first card finally, because we're going to get together. We said, we'll do the first card together, make that video together. So we're doing that tomorrow. That'll be fun, and I'll get to see my grandbabies. So seeing my grandbabies is always makes a good weekend. Now, I skipped a question here by accident. Let's see, who was it? Oh, here it is. Somnambule Nation asks, how many of the infamous tiki torches contain citronella by your best estimate? I'm going to guess all of them, because they're literally those little, they were those, like the tiki torches, like the ones you buy at Home Depot or something. They're just like the little things on a bamboo pole. That was their torches. And I always laugh. It was to me, I laughed my ass off when I saw that they went to Home Depot or not, whatever, any place that sells that shit and bought the fucking tiki torch. It has to be citronella oil because that's pretty much all they sell at Home Depot. The lamp oil is always citronella. So at least there were no mosquitoes around while they were, being anti-Semitic jagoffs. Selected Boy asks, which major sports team would you want to see win it all? I had so much fun the year the Minnesota Twins won the World Series. I was in downtown Minneapolis, Game 7, and holy shit, was that a party downtown. Now, it may be a little different now because downtown Minneapolis can be a dangerous place sometimes. It's not completely terrible, but after a certain point of time at night, you really don't want to be downtown Minneapolis. But it's still a fun place to go. But yeah, the Minnesota Twins. Lord Stand-Up, did you see Adam's presser? If not, do so and knock a few back a few first. Well, we watched part of it where he said, that he's being targeted. But I didn't see the whole thing. I'll have to go back and watch it. Sam Double Nation is the penultimate interrogatory. I have no idea what that even means. Because I don't know. This is one of those words that I see all the time, but I really don't know what it means. And I've never bothered to look it up. Let's see. Penultimate. Adjective. Next to last. Oh, is that the last question? Oh, is this the next? I got you. Is this the penultimate interrogatory? Is this the last question? No, it's not. Very close, though. You were close. How much time do I got? Oh, I'm good. Okay. Lord Stanhope asks, can we pray for AD just to piss him off? Okay, everybody pray for AD. Avocados Diabli, please. Bow your heads. Moment of silence. I said silence. Oh, that was me. Never mind. Moment of silence for AD. Pray for AD. Okay, there you go. I don't know if that'll piss him off or not, but that's a funny question. Lord Stanhope asks, if you could fly by flapping your cheeks together, where would you go? If I could fly by flapping my cheeks together, that would be weird. Wouldn't that be a weird thing? If flapping your cheeks together would cause you to fly. I would go wherever I want. I'll tell you. It depends on how long you can last doing that. Like, is it how much energy does it take, and how long could you, before you passed out from just your cheeks hurting? Because that'd be like, how when you laugh too long, laugh too much, and your cheeks start hurting. Could you imagine flying and seeing how bad your cheeks would hurt? Holy shit. But wherever I could, I don't know. JB asks, if you were a Power Ranger, what color would you be? Well, tan? Oh, you meant the costume. I don't know. Probably green? Who knows? And the last question on the list today, this is the last question on Friday. Q&A. Oh, wait a minute. Stop the music. Stop that. Mrs. Hayes asked, which cheeks? Oh! That should, oh my God. I can't believe I didn't think of that before you did. Oh, Lord Stanhope, you meant butt cheeks. Oh. Again, wherever I wanted. And finally, the last question by Selected Boy. Yeah, boy. Living single or friends? Probably friends. I didn't think living single, was particularly funny, but neither did I think friends was. I never understood. I really never understood why Friends was so popular. and basically Friends is, you know, white people's living single, right? But Living Single, the jokes were so forced, and they were on Friends too, but at least some of the scenarios Friends came up with were funny. But Living Single, I always thought it was forced humor. And and the one dude on there who can't act to save his life, the really dark-skinned guy, I've seen him other things, and I just don't think he's a good actor, but his jokes especially fell flat. But I don't know. I thought Latifah was pretty funny in that, but who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna say Friends by a hair, but I didn't like either show anyway. So there you go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our Friday Q&A. And like I said, there are a ton of links, today that I've not even gotten into. Lots of stories that I have not gotten to, but I do encourage you to check them out, and I'll drop those in the chat right now. I hope you all have a great week, and I hope you have something fun planned. Or if you work all weekend, work your hardest, work your best, do some good things. And okay, here we go. There's the links. Today's, what the hell? Why are my fingers fucked up? Links. There you go. There's today's links. Lots of stuff to check out. Lots of good articles. That's it. I gotta go. I gotta close this, and Q&A is over. There we go. I'll remove the pinned comment, unpin. That's it. All right. I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll be back here on Monday. I'm gonna be making some. While Lady Brewer's gone, I'm actually gonna make some videos. I will possibly post links to them here on YouTube, but because mostly they're for my other channels. If you're not following Marty Got Jokes or Marty's Big Journey, I encourage you to do that. And I'm also on Instagram as Dawg Knight, Marty's Big Journey, and Marty Got Jokes. So you can follow me at any of those places. And in most social media, I am on as Dawg Knight. All right, that's it. I got to go. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. My name is Dawg Knight, as I've said about 4 times now, and I am out of here. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.